The 2006 FIFA World Cup final in Berlin was more than a football match. It was a stage where legends clashed, dreams were forged, and destinies were rewritten. On July 9, 2006, France faced Italy in a battle that would go down in history, not just for the penalty shootout that crowned Italy champions, but for a single, seismic moment, Zinedine Zidane's headbutt on Marco Materazzi. That split-second act, a violent punctuation in a career defined by grace, became one of the most iconic and debated moments in sports history. It wasn't just a red card, it was a fracture in the narrative of a hero, a collision of pride, pressure, and human frailty. To understand the headbutt, we must unravel the man, the moment, and the hidden tensions that simmered beneath the surface. Zinedine Zidane, born in Marseille to Algerian immigrant parents, was no stranger to struggle. His journey from the rough streets of La Castellane to global stardom was a testament to his resilience and talent. By 2006, at 34, Zidane was a living legend. He had won the 1998 World Cup, the 2000 European Championship, and countless club titles with Juventus and Real Madrid. His elegance on the ball, those balletic touches, that uncanny vision, made him a poet in a game often defined by brute force. But beneath the artistry lay a man wrestling with his own contradictions, a quiet introvert with a fiery temper, a private soul thrust into the unrelenting spotlight. The 2006 World Cup was Zidane's swan song. He had announced his retirement from club football earlier that year, and the tournament was his final chance to etch his name deeper into Footballer's pantheon. France's campaign started shakily, with draws against Switzerland and South Korea, but Zidane's return from suspension sparked a resurgence. He orchestrated victories over Spain, Brazil, and Portugal, his genius carrying a team that, on paper, lacked the cohesion of France's 1998 squad. By the time the final arrived, Zidane was not just a player but a symbol, a beacon of hope for a nation grappling with social tensions, immigration debates, and a yearning for unity. Across the pitch stood Italy, a team hardened by years of scrutiny and scandal. The Calciopoli match-fixing controversy had rocked Italian football, implicating top clubs and casting a shadow over the national team. Yet, under Marcello Lippi, Italy played with defiance, their defense anchored by the indomitable Fabio Cannavaro and the provocative Marco Materazzi. Materazzi, a towering center-back known for his physicality and sharp tongue, was no stranger to controversy. His role in the final would be both pivotal and polarizing. The match itself was a cauldron of intensity. France struck first, with Zidane converting a cheeky Panenka penalty in the 7th minute. Italy equalized 12 minutes later through Materazzi's header, a goal that set the stage for their personal duel. As the game unfolded, Zidane was France's linchpin, his every touch a reminder of his brilliance. He nearly won the game in extra time with a header that Gianluigi Buffon tipped onto the crossbar. But beneath the surface, something was brewing. The cameras didn't catch it at first, but Materazzi and Zidane were engaged in a subtle war of words, a psychological chess match that would soon explode. In the 110th minute, with the score tied at 1-1, the world watched in stunned silence as Zidane turned, lowered his head, and drove it into Materazzi's chest. The Italian collapsed dramatically, and the Olympiastadion held its breath. Referee Horacio Elizondo, alerted by the fourth official, brandished the red card. Zidane walked off the pitch, head bowed, past the World Cup trophy he would never lift again. The image of his silhouette against the Berlin night became an indelible mark, a tragic coda to a storied career. What drove Zidane to that moment? The question has haunted fans, pundits, and historians for nearly 2 decades. The official narrative, pieced together from post-match interviews and lip-reading experts, centers on Materazzi's provocation. According to Materazzi, he insulted Zidane's sister, not his mother as initially speculated, with a crude remark. "I prefer the whore that is your sister." Zidane later confirmed that the insult targeted his family, saying, "I would rather have taken a punch in the face than hear that." For a man raised in a culture where family honor is sacrosanct, the words cut deep. But was it just the insult, or was there more? To understand Zidane's reaction, we must consider the weight he carried. The 2006 World Cup was not just a tournament. It was a crucible for France's national identity. Zidane, the son of Algerian immigrants, was a symbol of multiculturalism in a country grappling with racial and social divides. The 2005 riots in France's banlieues had exposed deep-seated tensions, and Zidane's success was seen as a counterpoint, a proof that integration could triumph. Yet, this role came with unrelenting pressure. Every match, every touch, was scrutinized not just for its athletic merit but for its cultural significance. Zidane was expected to be flawless, a beacon of composure in a fractured nation. Materazzi's taunt, then, was not just a personal jab but a spark igniting a powder keg of pent-up frustration. Zidane had faced racism throughout his career, from slurs in Italian stadiums to subtle condescension in the media. His temper, though rarely seen, was not unknown. In 1998, he was sent off for stamping on a Saudi player. At Juventus, he clashed with opponents who crossed lines. The headbutt was not an anomaly but a manifestation of a man pushed to his breaking point, a collision of personal pride and cultural weight. Materazzi, for his part, was no innocent bystander. Known for his gamesmanship, he was a master of provocation, using words and physicality to unsettle opponents. In the 2006 final, he was tasked with neutralizing Zidane, France's talisman. His insult was calculated, designed to exploit Zidane's protective instincts about his family. But Materazzi's role in the narrative is complex. He was vilified by French fans but celebrated in Italy, where his resilienza scoring the equalizer and converting a penalty in the Euro helped secure the World Cup. To some, he was a villain; to others, a cunning hero who did what was necessary. The headbutt's aftermath was a global reckoning. French fans mourned the loss of their captain, their dreams of a second World Cup dashed in the penalty shootout. Italian fans, while jubilant, debated Materazzi's tactics. The media frenzy was relentless, with headlines dissecting every angle. Was Zidane a fallen hero or a reckless fool? Was Materazzi a provocateur or merely a competitor? Lip-reading experts became overnight celebrities, and the incident sparked debates about sportsmanship, honor, and the limits of provocation. Zidane's silence in the immediate aftermath only fueled the fire. He refused to apologize for the act itself, though he expressed regret for its impact on young fans. "I'm not proud of what I did," he said in a televised interview. "But I can't regret it because that would mean he was right to say what he said." His defiance struck a chord with some, who saw it as a stand against disrespect, while others viewed it as stubbornness, a refusal to accept responsibility. The incident also exposed the contradictions within Zidane himself. He was a man of immense pride, forged in the crucible of his upbringing, yet his actions in Berlin betrayed the composure he was celebrated for. The headbutt was not just a reaction to Materazzi but a release of years of pressure. Pressure to be the perfect player, the perfect symbol, the perfect son of immigrants. In that moment, Zidane was not the untouchable maestro but a man, flawed and human, grappling with the weight of expectation. For Materazzi, the headbutt was a badge of honor and a burden. In Italy, he was hailed as a street-smart warrior who outwitted a legend. But globally, he was cast as the antagonist, the man who tarnished Zidane's legacy. In his autobiography, Materazzi admitted to the insult but framed it as part of the game's psychological warfare. "It's football," he wrote. "You say things, you push buttons." He reacted, "And I didn't expect it." His candor did little to quell the debate, as fans continued to argue over where the line between gamesmanship and dishonor lies. The headbutt's ripple effects extended beyond the pitch. It became a cultural touchstone, referenced in art, music, and literature. French philosopher Bernard-Henri Lévy called it a tragic act of self-destruction, while Italian writer Umberto Eco saw it as a moment of raw humanity in a scripted spectacle. The incident inspired a bronze statue by artist Adèle Abdesamed, depicting Zidane and Materazzi frozen in their moment of infamy, a monument to the collision of glory and ruin. In France, the headbutt deepened the national conversation about identity. Zidane's act was seen by some as a defense of immigrant honor, a refusal to bow to provocation. Others, however, lamented it as a squandered opportunity to rise above. The debate mirrored France's broader struggle with integration, as Zidane's legacy became a lightning rod for discussions about race, class, and belonging. For Zidane, the years that followed were a study in redemption. He transitioned into coaching, leading Real Madrid to 3 consecutive Champions League titles, proving his genius extended beyond the pitch. Yet the headbutt remains a shadow, a moment that defines him as much as his triumphs. In rare interviews, he speaks of it with a mix of resignation and defiance, acknowledging its place in his story without letting it consume him. Materazzi, too, moved on, retiring as a World Cup winner and a cult hero in Italy. His role in the headbutt ensured his name would forever be linked with Zidane's, a footnote in one legend's story and a cornerstone in another's. The two men reportedly met years later, with Materazzi claiming they shared a mutual respect, though the details of their conversation remain private. The 2006 World Cup final was more than a game. It was a human drama played out on the World Euro's biggest stage. Zidane's headbutt was not just a moment of madness but a window into the complexities of a man under pressure, a symbol under scrutiny, and a culture under strain. It was a reminder that even legends are mortal, that even the greatest can falter when pushed to their limits. The headbutt was a tragedy, a triumph, and a mystery, a fleeting act that encapsulated the beauty and brutality of football, and of life itself. As the years pass, the headbutt remains a paradox, a stain on Zidane's legacy and a testament to his humanity. It is a story of pride and provocation, of honor and hubris, of a man who, in one fleeting moment, reminded the world that even gods can bleed.